Saturday. I don't know what time it is. It's 11:24. 11:24 a.m. on a Saturday. I don't know how long this will take. I did make notes this time. I have notes. I have a tiny set of notes. It's many pages, but I got a small notepad. I need a bigger notepad. It'd be cool to not have to turn pages. Gonna talk about some of my theories on the world, on division. Like I put that in the title. Division is preparation. That's my first line of notes. Division is preparation. And I think that a lot of that is, we're being prepared. When you divide people, you're preparing them in a lot of ways. And it's division for division's sake. Division is the one in a 1-2 punch. It's step one in fall. Anytime you have two choices, anytime you're presented with two choices, and those two choices, you choose one. Anytime you choose one of two choices, and when you choose that choice, by default, you're angry at people that make the other choice. That's really the point of division, is to elicit that emotional response. So, when you make a choice, when you choose a side and you're angry at the other side, you're being manipulated into an emotional state. And when you get angry at someone else for the decision they've made, like I said, the point is just to be angry. If everyone is angry at everyone else, the two in the 1-2 punch is, well, let's get all these angry people together. And that's how you're kind of put into a singular mob, a whole big group of people that are angry. I've seen it before. In my lifetime, I've seen everyone at one in the drop of a hat, everyone get on the same team. And what happened afterwards was, it is what it is. It's what happens every time. Hi there. Thanks for joining. And that's really, I think, the point of division, is to eventually get everyone to become a singular angry mob. And I think we all know there's going to be some big unifying event that will happen soon. I think a lot of people believe we're about to discover aliens, or not discover aliens. We're going to be told there are aliens. We're going to be told we have a great enemy. it's gonna be, once you play the alien card, you don't have any other cards to play. That's kind of the last, oh look, now we have to gather as a world of angry people, and here's the bad guy. Here's what you need to be angry at. Hey there, how's it going, everybody? So yeah, division. It's not about the dividing, it's about the emotion. Getting people to be angry. So that then when you're angry, you're gonna make bad decisions. That's why I try to never get angry, especially when I feel like that's what someone wants, because I don't like the way my mind works when I'm angry. So I try to avoid it at all costs. It's not healthy to be angry. I think a lot about, there's something in the Bible that talks about an army of evil whose numbers are greater than the sands of the seas. That's going to be essentially everybody. So when you're thinking about the team you're on, think about how big it is. And if it's the size of half the number of the sands of the seas, well, you can bet that at some point they're gonna roll all that together. You're all gonna have one common enemy soon enough. And it's hard to imagine trying to live outside of both of the biggest opinions, both of the biggest groups in the world. It takes a lot of moral fortitude to say everyone is wrong, but in all likelihood everyone is wrong. You just, like I said, you don't want to make any decisions based on anger, and that's unfortunately one of the cheapest advertising tools there is. Anger and sadness, that's another big one. People frequently want to be sad for someone else. I mean, there's 8 billion people, give or take, so, and everyone has something to be sad about. So yeah, you can have empathy for people and not get caught up in the things that they should be sad about. Because people are, if you take away the reasons, if you take away the causes, people are becoming a monolith of negative emotions. Everyone is feeling mostly the same negative things, and because you think you're on one side versus the other, you don't see that you all have so much in common. You don't understand the monolithic nature of your driving force, which is just being angry, being sad, being scared. That's almost everyone right now. And like I said, when everyone gets into that position, you're one grand unifying event away from all being angry and sad and scared together. It's happens in every civilization. They all go out, um, you know, fighting for something, for some cause, and there's no avoiding that. That's that's how the world works. It's you know, you just the only way out is to not be ruled by those emotions. You still might die. Everyone's gonna die. That's another thing. You can't. We're all going to suffer the same, and maybe it's not suffer. We're all going to die, and I mean that in a good way. There's nobody that's going to achieve immortality. So to think that there's any one way better than another is it's dangerous. The Just don't get ruled by those emotions, and you'll be able to make better decisions. You'll be able to see opportunities that the people that are being ruled by those emotions can't. And that's a lot of it, is just blinding people um, by controlling their emotions. They won't see opportunities. They will take bad directions, and they'll do it all because they allowed themselves to get into that emotional state. That's that's the dangerous thing that it all has in common. And that's why I'm so worried about division, because it's the main thing being pushed on everyone right now, is that there are two sides to everything. There's never just two sides, but there are only ever going to be two advertised sides. And whether I like news. I think it's cool to watch, not because I want to know what's going on, but because I want to know what people think. And for the most part, people think exactly what they're told. So a lot of people are like, I don't watch news, I don't believe it. Well, you don't have to believe it, because everyone around you believes it. So that's a good reason, I think, to kind of be up on current events. I would definitely suggest, don't believe what you see. Don't think everything is happening the way it's being presented to you. And for sure, nowadays, with all the generative videos and stuff, I mean, I'd advise against believing anything, especially if it makes you feel something powerful. It's like I kind of said yesterday, you're in a bad mood, or you're sad or something, and you listen to a song, and all of a sudden, like, you just feel better. You're no longer in a bad mood. You're no longer sad. And that's something external that crawled into your brain, and it changed the way you think. And anytime you see something on TV or on the internet and it changes the way you feel or think, well, that's the same thing. It's just a different format, same messing with your emotions. And anytime your emotions are high, you're all just one event away, one narrative shift away from having yourself be used. And that's a thing I really despise, is being used. I know, like, even at the whatever your job is, whatever you do for money, if you have a hierarchy above you, they're using every trick in their book to keep you doing what you're doing for the most minimal cost. And that's the world we live in. It's difficult to reconcile that for me. I know I can tell when I'm being used. I think most people kind of can. Again, if you just feel yourself getting angry over situations, something's up. And if you are doing what you're being paid to do, but you're still angry about it, well, there's a discrepancy somewhere in there. And that's kind of it's kind of crazy. We're so many generations deep on being used, it's hard to even imagine. I talk about a blip in history that our grandparents lived in, where things were great. Single family income, could have a house, 2 cars, 3 kids, and that was the blip. Ever since then, it's gotten incrementally worse, and the reason being is that you just can't out. It was never meant to last. It was never going to last. There's more people, less opportunities, and that's the design. I don't know if there was ever maybe other civilizations had something similar. I don't know. Maybe the Babylonians had something that was like the American 1950s, where the economy was just great, and they taught their kids, believe in all this, and it'll get you places. And I'm not, I firmly believe in doing good work, because what else is there to do? I don't think we're all being fairly compensated for what we're doing. But again, what else do you have to do? There's nothing else to do. You might as well do something and do it well. That's kind of how I was raised. Is just, do everything as good as you can. And so I mainly do that because it helps me sleep at night. Hard work will make you sleep. I love sleep. And I'm from a family of people that didn't sleep well, and I sleep like a baby. I don't know what their deal was. But yeah, I go and I do hard things all day, as hard as I can do them. And when I lay my head down on the pillow, I fall asleep. So that's its own reward. But for sure, the intensity of what it takes to pay for everything in the world now has reached crazy levels. You all know that. You know it's expensive to live. And I don't think that anyone cares. I don't think there's anything that can be done about it. To make things cheaper at this point, the only option is essentially like free labor. I'm not into that. I don't want to work for free. I want more. I think I'm worth more. I think everyone's worth more. But you see the catch-22 in that: when everyone gets what they're worth, nothing is going to get cheaper. I mean, I suppose people would say that we just need to stop paying the top levels of things so much, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. Not in the system that we've got. But yeah, so that's my little talk on division and why it happens and what it's being used for. This was yet again another experiment. Obviously, I'm running on some pretty antiquated technology for notes, but yeah, it's been fun. This is a growing process. I really appreciate everyone that tuned in, and yeah, thanks for listening to me do a little less rambling this time. It was funner to have notes. I'll make more notes, and we will do this again tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye.